Hello and welcome to our program Where God Weeps. Today we will be talking about Iran, formerly known internationally as Persia. Iran as a land and a nation has one of the oldest histories in the world, extending nearly 6,000 years. It is the 18th largest country in the world with more than 70 million inhabitants. Iran ranks second in the world for natural gas reserves and third in oil reserves. And Islam is the state religion, and it is said that 98% of the population are Muslims. And the largest minority group are the Armenian Christians. Let us now watch a film to get a better introduction of Iran.
A woman wrapped in black chadar wanders bewilderedly among the ruins, an image symbolizing one who has lost everything. At 5 a.m. on the 26th December 2003, an earthquake measuring 6.7 on the Richter scale hit the area around the city of Bam in the province of Kerman in southeast Iran. The quake caused the death of some 43,000 people and injured a further 30,000, of whom 10,000 were transferred to other parts of Iran. The citadel of Bam, an architectural jewel with 2,500 years of history, exists no longer. During this emergency, the Iranian government, for the first time in 25 years, made it possible for foreign organizations to enter the country, in some cases even requesting their help in order to help the people struck by the earthquake. The desire for freedom of Catholics in Iran restarts from here, from the tragedy of Bam, in a difficult context. The foundation of an Islamic Republic has profoundly modified the situation of Christians, for example through the elimination of the religious structures of the Latin Church, suspected of sympathy with the West. Today, 25 years on from Khomeini's revolution, the number of faithful has fallen from 320,000 to 120,000, of whom 12,000 are Catholics. The fact that Christians belong to ethnic minorities, or Armenian, Assyrian, Chaldean, renders them doubly foreign in the eyes of a majority who conceive Iranianity and Islam as one thing. The Constitution guarantees Christians the right to worship, but rigid state control forces many of them to remake a life for themselves in the anonymity of the big cities, or to join relatives living abroad. There are 4 Catholic dioceses in Iran, 2 of the Chaldean Rite in Tehran and Umraya, 1 Armenian and 1 Catholic. Monsignor Bedini has been in Iran since 1962. As Salesian, he is the Patriarch of Catholics of Latin Rite.
I latini qui sono specialmente gli stranieri che sono qui per lavoro, nelle ambasciate, nelle scuole e varie compagnie che hanno dei contratti con l'Iran. E i locali sono pochini di rito latino. Ci sono vari casi di matrimoni misti tra un iraniano o un iraniano con un cattolico di altri paesi. E la presenza è una minoranza proprio piccola piccola, però si fa notare, è apprezzata, si fa rispettare.
The Christian, Jewish and Zoroastrian minorities are formally respected by the Constitution, with 2 seats in Parliament guaranteed for Christians, Armenian and Assyrian, and 1 for Jews and Zoroastrians. Within the walls of churches, temples and synagogues, Islamic law has no sway. Women are free not to wear the chadar, and wine can be used for the Mass. However, constitutionally guaranteed rights are not always a defense against persecution. Humanitarian organizations continue to denounce acts of maltreatment, especially against converts from Islam to Christianity. This journey among Catholics in Iran must necessarily take in Razi Avenue, site of the Apostolic Nunciature.
Abbiamo avuto chiuso dei centri di culto, ci è dispiaciuto molto e noi speriamo che quanto prima si possano riaprire, perché in questi centri non si faceva altro che cultura religiosa, insegnamento del catechismo, celebrazione delle liturgie eucaristiche e non si facevano nessuna riunione politica o di altro genere. Perciò noi siamo in attesa fiduciosa che il governo quanto prima ci permetta la riapertura di questi centri.
Diplomatic relations between the Holy See and Iran have existed for 50 years. In that half-century, this Muslim country has undergone various epoch-making events. Between 1978 and 1979, there was the overthrow of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, and the revolution that led to the creation of the Islamic Republic under the guidance of Ayatollah Khomeini. In the 1980s, the dramatic and grueling war with Iraq. Today, the laborious attempts at dialogue with the West. The Holy See has always followed these events which were also experienced by the tiny Iranian Catholic community, with great attention and a spirit open to dialogue. Father Tom Lawler is a Dominican priest. Dominican presence in Iran dates back 700 years. An archaeologist from Ireland, Father Tom has lived in Tehran for 30 years. He was forced to leave after the revolution of 1979 and was able to return only 4 years ago. In the first 2 years, he was alone. Now he has been joined by a Pakistani deacon. And the Dominicans, in other words Father Tom and the Pakistani deacon, are titular holders of the Church of St. Abraham in North Tehran.
Perché Sant'Abramo è il padre della fede dell'Islam, degli giudei e dei cristiani. E allora abbiamo pensato di una chiesa che può essere un luogo aperto a tutte le tre grandi fedi di questo paese. Un luogo di riconciliazione, un luogo di investigazione, di studio. E così abbiamo costruito questa biblioteca, molti di libri sull'Islam, sulla storia del misticismo, sulla poesia iraniana, eccetera. È un luogo di studio.
The Church of St. Abraham, as Father Tom explains, is also frequented by young people.
Sì, ma molti vengono per vedere le chiese, chiedono, c'è la curiosità e certamente apriamo la porta verso di loro, accettiamo e parliamo con loro. Ma per venire alla messa o qualche cosa di quel genere non è permesso. C'è un contatto, assolutamente, sì, con loro, e loro vengono e studiano e anche vengono con il permesso del governo, stanno studiando diverse religioni del mondo. E anche, naturalmente, loro hanno grande rispetto per Gesù e per Maria, ma hanno la loro idea di Gesù. E quando io dico sì, Gesù era un ebreo, questo è un concetto nuovo per loro.
In the caravanserai, you must offer bread, you must offer water, you must never ask a person's faith. So says an Iranian mystic. No journey through the rich traditions and culture of Iran is complete without a visit to the caravanserai and the bazaar. The musicians play, tea is being prepared, people are smoking aromatic tobacco in hookahs. Epic deeds are recounted, as narrated by the poet Ferdowsi, depicted in this painting. An epic poet of the 10th century, Ferdowsi is a vitally important part of Iranian culture, having acted as a Persian bulwark against the risk of enculturation from the Arabs. The 8 sisters of the Community of the Holy Spirit are just as strong. The Geisha district, where they live, used to be a Christian area, though few are left. The Sisters of the Holy Spirit have been in Iran since 1937. They all have dual citizenship, which enabled them to avoid being expelled from the country with the advent of the revolution in 1979. Four are of Italian origin, one Brazilian and three Chaldean.
La nostra chiesa noi ce l'abbiamo nel sotterraneo. Direi volutamente. Ed è stato bene perché non entrano altro che cristiani. Se non sono cristiani naturalmente non li possiamo fare entrare per andare nella cappella, eccetera.
They used to run a school with 2,000 pupils in the wealthier part of Tehran, from nursery to high school. They left the school in 1974 and now care for handicapped people between the ages of 15 and 35. The handicapped are Christians only because they are not allowed to look after Muslims.
Io direi di cercare di vedere nei diversi paesi quello che è che dà possibilità di costruzione e non di vedere soltanto il lato negativo. Perché se ci lasciamo prendere soltanto dal lato negativo su qualunque punto di vista, non è che ci si avvicina alla verità.
Hope may also restart from the Bible translated into Farsi, the work of a Muslim author that gives Sister Caterina the opportunity to read the sacred texts in her native language.
Noi cattolici allora non abbiamo mai avuto questi libri deuterocanonici in persiano. Fino a 2 o 3 anni fa, che un traduttore iraniano, Parviz Sayyar, lui ha tradotto questi libri deuterocanonici per la prima volta in persiano bellissimo.
We are on the program Where God Weeps and talking about Iran, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you today Mrs. Antonella Cattani from the Italian organization International Association for Christian Art and Intercultural Dialogue. And she just returned from Iran. Welcome, Mrs. Antonella Cattani. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
You have contact with the government. How did you establish this contact? Because I can imagine it has been quite difficult as a Christian to establish contact with the Islam government.
You're right. We start the contacts with them 5 years ago, and we proposed to the Iranian government restoration. And we wait 1 year for an answer, and they give us an answer, yes, please come and look to all the Christian heritage in Iran. We make a big tour, and they propose us the restoration of this church. But to work in Iran is not it's not a free country, it's not a free government. So with the Vatican Embassy, Nanchachur, we signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, for the restoration with the full collaboration of Iranian government. They are paying 50% of all the cost with architectonical materials like bricks and other cement, everything you need for reconstruct the rooms. And for the church, we have the collaboration of Italian government with 2 experts in paintings, restoration painting for the miniature inside.
So you must be very proud that you...
Because it's, it was losing forever, this small jewel of Catholic presence in Isfahan. It was a sign of contact from Shah Abbas to the Vatican, a relation between Vatican and Shah Abbas at the time. And this just was the testimony of the open mind of Shah Abbas. So it was really in so bad conditions, and lose forever, that to have to save this small church is a sign. But it's also a sign because we will care to bring back there a priest, a Catholic priest, to do Mass, to stay there and give testimonial of Catholic way of life and what Catholic means today in Iran.
You're not Iranian yourself, but you're dressed like an Iranian, except your veil. Do you have to wear a veil as a non-Iranian?
Of course, I have all the times, from morning to night, and I have to wear a long dress, trousers, and a veil, and never give the hand, of course.
And you even visited the Iranian embassy here in Rome. Is it also, what purpose does that have?
Well, it is the Iranian embassy to the Holy See, who is our collaboration is with this embassy. The Iranian ambassador to the Holy See is a very open-minded ambassador. He's a philosopher, and they think that philosophy is the best. It's the best way to understand Iran. It's the best. It makes the possibility to understand Iranian people because they are poets, they are philosophers, like in ancient Persia. So it remains inside themselves this Iranian way of life. Even if they are Muslim, even the revolution make them more strength. But I think that the spirit of Persia is so well and open mind that it's a nice opportunity to understand them.
But on the other hand, Iran is quite difficult as a woman to live there, being veiled all the time, suppressed. That's what we read of the Iranian women. Do you feel that as well when you walk around?
Well, yes and no, because women can work everywhere in each field they can work. Of course, there are constrictions for them, but I think it's the best country for women in all Islamic countries. I think that Iran is, in this way, more open, and they respect a woman who studied, who's working. They respect me like the head of the project. So, of course, there are some problems, but also there's a country who inside them are open. It's just a moment.
So you do feel respected, and when you say for a project, I wanted to go this way, the men there will say yes.
Well, I learned to be like that. To have respect, you have to be more firm than them, more. And you have to have clear what you want in your mind. It must be very clear. If they feel this, they respect you, even if you're a Christian or a woman. But if you're not firm in your in conviction, they not respect. So I think that one first step of dialogue is to be firm in our convictions, Christian convictions, and to be open-minded to them, but never forget our convictions.
But as you say, your conviction is being a Christian. You are a Christian. You're a woman.
Yes.
Doesn't that make it even more difficult to work in Iran?
No, I can tell them I am like this because I'm a Christian. I say I never work on Sunday morning because I have the Mass, and you have to respect me like I respect you Friday. They are feeling that I'm a serious person because I say what I am, and they respect it. All the Christians in Iran are open to Mass, but everything must be inside the churches, inside the houses, never outside on the road, open spaces. I think it's in a way you can understand it that it's horrible for them, but in a way it's a way to care to care what's the inside. It's like in your home, you care what you are sharing more. It's a way to survive for them.
And also for you to survive as a woman and a Christian and try to survive with all the nice churches there.
Yes, sure, of course. But it's important to show that Christians are more open than Muslims. And I think Iranian Muslims, I can say for all, but Iranian Muslims are more open-minded than other Muslims. Shia has a lot of intellectual and philosophical points in common with Christianism. It's a very good way for dialogue.
There's especially one big project, the Church of Miriam, if I am right, in Isfahan, that you have helped restore. Can you tell us something about that project, how you went about?
Well, it's the church I told you. Hazrat Maryam is called the Big Maryam, the Sacred Maryam. And we call the project like this because we have in common with Muslims, especially for Shia Muslims, the feel to Maria, and they respect a lot Maria, the mother of Christ. For them, he's a prophet, of course. And when we say that our project is called Hazrat Maryam, they said, "Wow, you dedicate to a very special person." And they said, "Yes, it was."
So it's not the name of the church, it's the project that's called like that.
The project is called Hazrat Maryam, but the church is the Holy Rosary Church. And then they don't understand, Iranian doesn't understand why they call the Holy Rosary Church, because Rosary for them is just for pray, and the link to the Mary is not so easy. So we call it Hazrat Maryam, and we can understand and they respect it.
You told about the restoration of the churches, but does it really help the Catholic Christian communities to come back together again?
Well, the Catholic are very, very few, not much. But the Iranian, Armenian Catholic are some families no more in Isfahan. But still, if they will, baptism the children back in this church, it is a very big success. And also for foreigners, for tourists, to have a site where they can have mass, where they can find Catholic person around them, and just for few hours to stay inside themselves in a Catholic church, I think is very important. And Iranian government understood this opportunity. They want to bring again a priest inside, just for Catholic, not for all the. It must be closed. Everything must be closed. But not a problem. There is a bell.
Thank you, Mrs. Antonella Cattani, for explaining to us the situation in Iran and telling us how important Christian art is. And thank you for watching our program Where God Weeps. And if you want to know more on the situation of the Iranian Catholic Church, please log on to our website, which is posted at the end of our program. And we hope to see you again next week. Take care.